2. Let's see if this works better than take 1, which didn't work. Well, it looks like I'm back, and hopefully I have audio. Let me get chat to confirm that before I move on. Can you hear me loud and clear? Cool. Yeah. Sorry about that. For some odd reason, my OBS settings keep losing my main microphone. Yeah, because I guess I have multiple microphones on this machine, and it keeps defaulting to the one that isn't the one that's like right next to my face here. Cool, so let's just do the spiel over again. And we'll pretend like the first thing never happened. But hey, I'm Joshua. Today is July 16th, 2017. This marks actually about 1 year of me streaming every Sunday, which is pretty cool. That's a long time to do streams every Sunday, and I'm happy that I've stuck to it. Next Sunday, the stream is probably going to be at a weird time. We will be visiting with family, so I'll have to kind of bump the time probably a lot earlier. It'll probably be closer to 8 or 9 o'clock my time. I'll let you folks know next Saturday about when it's going to be. But enough about streaming. This is about Delver, which you can see behind my head here at delvergame.com. Delver is a passion project that is created by 2 people. I am one of those 2 people. I make the 2D art, I make the 3D art, I make some levels, I do some programming. Truth is, making a game is a big task, and with 2 of us working on it, we do a lot of things. And this is me just working on it. If you want to support us, we are in early access. You can buy us on Steam for $7.99, which there's a link to the Steam page right there. And also, we have a Humble widget, if that's more your speed. With the Humble widget, you also get a Steam key. I mentioned this twice because Steam is a place where it gets updated most frequently. But once we are out of early access, we will update all the other platforms to include Android, which people keep requesting. But more about the release, I guess I teased it a little bit. We are planning on releasing hopefully at the end of this month. I guess the last stream, if you watched, I kind of had this realization that redoing all the dungeon rooms from scratch was kind of a big waste of time. So what Chad and I have decided to do is to actually just go back through and kind of give the original dungeon rooms some love. So all the new textures and props I've been working on will get put into there, and some of the levels some of the rooms I didn't like will get tweaked. But that is proving to be a much faster process, and I'm still happy with the end result. So that's all that really matters. Dakota's saying we're not in early access. Yeah, it does. There's a big old early access badge on there. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. It's going to be tough. I'm going to have to keep my nose to the grindstone. Mostly, it's just going to be me making or touching up rooms. And I'd love to get some alt textures in. Chad's been making some really cool changes as well. So let's just jump right into that. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong window too. Let me just kind of clean up a few things here and there. There we go. You don't care about that. Don't care about that. Here we go. Cool. So this is my feature branch here, this new dungeon theme. Let's take a look at what I've been up to this week. This is all the stuff that's been happening this week, which is pretty crazy. Let me see. Yeah, so that's all of it. Let me just. So, Chad implemented throwing items. So we kind of retweaked how item throwing works. It used to be that, like for some things, like for example, left click on food would eat it, left click on potions would drink it, and now left click always uses, and then Q always throws. And you can hold down Q to charge up and throw anything. So that's what that's all about. And actually, when you throw melee weapons, they will do an attack roll if they hit a creature, which is pretty darn cool. Camera rotation, yeah. So there's some modal window work. Chad is fixing some of the shader stuff. This is me, like these update dungeon beginnings. This is me going through all the old dungeon areas and mostly just touching up the texture atlases and then doing some level designy stuff that on bits that were broken. So yeah, cleaning up this. I kind of threw out all the old. I built a couple of new rooms and I didn't really like them, so I threw that out. Thrown items rotate a bit now. I think there's still some work to be done here because sometimes you can drop items and they just rotate forever. So we probably need to look into that, Chad. Maybe I could repro this on the stream. Yep, and then Chad's done some really cool like work around like really decorating up kind of where we want these rooms to go. And then I'm just fixing props, lots of fixing props, more level design work. And Chad's kind of, again, exploring like how these rooms should look. Yeah, Chad also added this really cool kind of God Ray effect to some of the windows, which is nice to have. There's an outdoor set piece. Yeah, so there's lots of level stuff. This is more, so this is another check for us. We're trying to fix a bug around high DPI mice kind of really not behaving well. So there are a few things around the mouse that we're trying to clean up. It's hard for us to repro because I think we can't make it happen with our mice. Yep, fixing the magic item shader. I think on my machine this is finally fixed, which is good. Merge stuff, new clutter items, which had Chad trying his hand at some pixel art, and they turned out pretty darn good. So it's nice that I can slowly corrupt him and make him a pixel artist. Hawaii Beach should be happy. Now we have icons for the editor and for Delver. So hopefully he sleeps better at night. Get more clutter stuff. Junk items can be broken. That's cool. I didn't know about that. Yeah, so that's nice. Better break effect on junk items. Hitting a wall with enough force will also damage items. I guess that makes sense now that you can, since we have weapons and weapons have durability, so if you throw them and hit the wall, they should probably get damaged. Hey, Baker Studios. Hey, chat. Hey, Felix. I am well. Thank you, folks. Thanks for popping in. Created a new prop. I noticed that Chad was he was building shelves out of either benches by stacking them vertically, or a bookcase that he was pushing into the wall so you couldn't see the backside of it. So I just made a shelf for him and kind of updated where we use those. So the shelf is kind of a nice little addition. So I updated all the original dungeon rooms, which was nice, but it took a while. It took a couple days of me just plugging away on that. Again, more trying to make sure the right click menus stay on screen. That's good. Merge. Yeah, using the new shelf. So Chad went through some of his old rooms and fixed up his shelf usage. Dungeon starts. Merge. Again, more room work. I touched up the beam model because the old beam model, I guess it was bugging me because it had bad, like the texel ratio was off. So I just went in and fixed that. So hopefully it's not a big change. It's really only it's a 2 pixel change, which is a 2/32 size difference, but it makes my little heart feel good. And also I capped it so you can actually use it as beams instead of how it was. Ooh, adding a bit of ambient occlusion to blending to lights. That's nice. So Chad is actually doing some of that stuff. Lights keep a Foxglove cache pre-calculated light colors now. That's cool. Reducing amount of self-shadowing entities. That's good. Remove tile light map entities. Lighting uses light box cache now. That's cool. Yeah, so this has been a crazy development week. We are pushing hard. I mean, but this is probably the most excited I've been about Delver in a while. Like having a good clear direction is so useful, and that's nice. Exxon Ramage says, do you know if there was a bug the whole screen darker and lighter throughout the game, like flickering? No, that's a new one. I've never heard about that. If you can either capture a video of that, or does it only happen certain times, or does it happen all the time? as much information as you could provide is super useful for us trying to track this bugs down. Yeah, and hey, hey Exxon, hey Dbash. Hey Bluestone, yeah, I'm starting to see quite a few familiar handles there, so it's always nice to be in good company. So let's just I guess today we're just going to chill and we're going to work on level stuff. So yeah, let's do that. Actually, let me what is word? Let me actually ooh, uh-oh, what's that all about? Build errors. Let me do a few things then. Let me just make sure that I have latest, all that good stuff. Git fetch, git pull, git reset head hard. Like a hard. Oh, also, so as Felix is pointing out, so I'm a Twitch affiliate, which means people can subscribe to me. Yeah, you can do that. And I'm trying to figure out why people would do that. So my first thing I've talked about doing, and I will do it, is at the last Friday of every month, I will do a subscriber stream. It will be an 8-hour stream where I work on stuff that subscribers tell me to. Anybody can watch it, but the subscribers get to dictate what I do. And I currently have one subscriber, and he told me that he wants me to do like a Blender for beginners kind of stuff. So I'll be doing some 3D modeling, and I'll be very verbose and talking about my process. Yeah, so if you want to see me work on particular stuff, yeah, just click the little subscribe button somewhere, and just I'll shoot you guys an email before the end of the month, and you can say, hey, I want you to work on this, or I want to see how you do this. And as long as it's in like the art, programming, creative vein, I'll do it. Also, there's a subscriber bot. So as Felix is illustrating, there's a couple commands. You can type in commands, and it'll come back with you saying, hey, these are the 2 commands. Subscribers get to create new commands, something like command add, and let's call it RNG, and bless RNG. And then you go RNG. Yep, so that's another thing subscribers can do if that interests you. Yeah, Mark Solly, I am 8 hours of dev is going to be interesting. I think I can do it. We'll see. Oh, that coffee is hotter than I thought it was. Okay, cool. So, yay! Dakota, that's awesome. Thank you kindly, sir. Man, that's awesome. Yeah. Fire me up an email what you want me to work on, and I'll work on it. I'll probably try to either split the time, or I'll try to mash up all the suggestions, however that works. But yeah, you get me for 8 hours and whatevs. Hey Zeke, how the heck are you, man? I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, I've just been like isolated out here working on my thing. I do need to get to some of the Seattle Indies stuff. Let me see. Marticus. Or you could hit me up on Twitter or Discord or however you get a hold of me normally. That's fine. But yeah, that's my email address. And apparently Moobot also decided to give my email address as well. So yeah, you can reach out to me. And also you can reach out to me if you have questions in general. I try to be as helpful as I can be. Cool. So yeah, and Dakota, if you want to, you can add commands and stuff now too, if you'd like to. Cool. So we have build errors I need to fix. Let's try just doing a rebuild. No, let's do Gradle. Where's Gradle? Gradle. Tool windows, Gradle. There should be a target clean. Run. Um, Makilo23 says, "Hey, quick question: was the Skydome fixed in the starting campfire level?" Um, I'm not sure what you mean by fixed. Like, what issues were you having with it? Um, Raptor Hatchling says, "Doing good, man. I actually missed you last meetup. Hope to see you." Yeah. That's Zeke. Sorry, Zeke. I need to put that in my brain. Yeah, I've missed a few meetups as well. Yeah, I definitely need to get out more. Like being like isolated, working on your own project, and like the only person I really see a lot is my wife or my 1-year-old child. Like I get stir crazy a little bit. Nothing against them. It's just I need adult interaction. Get light map at PauseX pause. There we go. Why is this? Oh, Chad. Have I? So I should be up to date. Remove tile light mapping entity lighting uses the voxel cache instead now. Blah, blah, blah. Let me see if I can just fix the errors. How many errors do we have? Desktop. Run. Give me a big old list of errors. The new icon for Delve Edit is just the sitting page at the start area. You'll see it once I get it launched. Yeah, that little guy. Oh, so even though it's complaining about errors, it's still running? It's only in the editor. Okay. Well, that could be interesting. Yeah, this should be a good enough place to kind of preview what's going on. And again, realize this is a work in progress. We're trying to push to get things done. Yep, so if you don't know Delver, this is the starting area. These guys serve as a shop and lore and tutorial, but you can skip them. Because I started a new game, I only have a little bit of gold. Now, if you notice, I have an odd number of inventory slots. And that's because the inventory slots now are variable, and you can find different items that will add or shrink your inventory, which is pretty cool. Also, we added a little tab over here, so now you can see your stats, you can see your experience, all that good jazz. Also, you get little tooltips telling you what these things do, so no more mystery meat stuff, like armor class, total amount of defense, reduces amount of damage taken when hit, which is nice. And also, we've added these strings to the translation file. So when this goes live, I'll probably let the translators have a crack at that file before release, so their stuff should just automatically work. I'll try to remember to ping all the people who have translations out on the workshop. But yeah, these are nice little quality of life changes. Also, I was saying you can let me find some junk like this here. It's like you can, so holding down Q will throw stuff all the time. And this also includes like weapons now, so you can throw the dagger, and it will do an attack roll when it hits stuff, which is nice, you know. That definitely feels more roguelike-y, being able to like throw daggers. You could also throw your potions. So now we've kind of just unified that experience and how that works. But yeah, so like we added like the little bookcase props in. We have yeah, little barrels of wine or beer, whatever. Stacks of books, I think. There we go. Yep, that needs to not be wood. Those need to be pages or something. Don't let me forget that. This also needs to probably be a rubble texture. It's still work in progress. Why are these? Something is wrong because these should be two-sided now. Or no, I need to touch those rooms up. Yeah, just trying to add little bits of stuff here and there. It uses the updated textures. It's using the new wall decorator, so you'll see it decorate stuff up with like these little wood posts and other smaller things. I pulled some of the big stuff out of the wall decorator because it was just too much of a pain in the neck to try to get it to intelligently decorate the levels. So I axed it. Health. There we go. Yeah, I mean, if you played a lot, these levels still should look familiar to you. I've just, again, they just get a bit of a coat of paint. And also, too, now, I guess, being able to throw anything makes flying enemies way more dealable. Now, what you see here is this is a computer-generated room, so the texture atlases haven't been updated here correctly yet. Also, this is a magic mace. It's a poison mace. Oh, man. That should be a good time. So now I can run around and throw my poison mace at things and fight that way. Nice. I need to look into it because it would be nice to maybe if the throwing code honors the mass of things, to maybe play around with how heavy things are. So when you throw them, it actually like feels different. Because right now, I think they probably all throw exactly the same. Nice. Yeah, throwing feels nice. I didn't mean to read my thing there, but yeah, that's kind of the state of things. I think the old dungeons still feel similar, but they're starting to look pretty. And I'm just going to do some level editing. Sorry, Bluestone. Take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. Dakota, no, the inventory is always a fixed size, or at least there's a minimum size you start with. Senor Dead says, "Are you looking for a Spanish translation?" There already is one out on the workshop. We have workshop support, and I spent a long time making sure that we could actually support translation mods. So we have Spanish, we have French, we have German, we have Catalan. Am I forgetting any? Yeah, we have some really awesome community members. Several probably are here in chat that have contributed to the translations. Yeah. Dakota says, "Why can't we have animated weapons and items?" Yeah, so what we're looking at is this is going to be the last big update. So I don't think animated weapons are going to make the cut. We may still do updates beyond release, but again, that just kind of depends on like how much, like, it just depends on how successful Delver is and how much like time we have. Teddy LV says, "How can we help with translations?" You can just create your own. So let me kind of walk you through that process. So if you go to let's go to steampowered.com and let's look for Delver. Delver, yep. So here is the Delver page. You can scroll down and find workshop somewhere. I swear I know how to find it. I don't. Workshop. I'll just click here, and then workshop. Yeah. And then the workshop, actually, let's go, actually the discussions is correct. So here on the right, we have a translations subforum. And if you click this little pinned topic by me, they have some links here. So like if you click here, this is the continue. So this is a GitHub repo I've set up with the English strings. It's in the Delver community mods repo. If you go to you can click here to go to the root. It's at github.com/joshua_skelly/delver-community-mods. And then let me see, the German, English, Spanish, and French language packs live here. If you click on the English one, I have a little bit of like a README in here so you can see what it's all about. But basically, this is the internal string used by Delver. So you can't change this. This is how we know how to find the name of a thing. This is just used internally as well, so don't change that. But these next two items are the things you want to change. This one you translate. So if this was sword, you would translate it to, was it like arma or espada or whatever it is in Spanish. And then the comment, this this is not really used, but I put it there to help. So if we go look at some of the strings here, like for example, the screens.splash_screen.press key to start, that's used by Delver. The thing says press any key to start. That's what is shown in the English version. You translate this, and then I've left you the comment saying this is the prompt shown once at the start of the game. So what you would do is just make a copy of this strings.dat and then translate the whole thing, and then you can put it in the mods directory next to Delver, and you can test it out that way. Yeah, Mark Solly, he created a, let's go to workshop. Mark Solly actually has created quite a few things, if I recall correctly. Let's look at all. Mark Solly created, yeah, this Berserk sword and the Dark Souls Solaire set, which is pretty cool. Not the Catalan translation. Yeah, so there are quite a few folks here who have made mods, which is really, really appreciated. Yeah, we're trying to get things done by the end of this month. And I am pushing hard to make sure that happens. Hey, Javier. Again, Dakota, I can't promise that. I mean, to be honest, we can only we want to get this project done, and any big updates, this is going to be the last one. But we're pretty happy with where Delver's at, and we're just trying to get the polish on the last little bits of things that we think we need to get done. All right, so let me take a look at this editor frame errors and why is it complaining about this stuff. Let me see if I can actually let me try running it and see what it says. So hopefully Masonics, hopefully that answered your question. Looks like the signature changed on these. Okay, Gradle away with you. Get light map at pause X, pause Y, float pause Z. Interesting. So I can just pass that in, I suppose. Get light map, the same call. Okay, that seems fine. Let's, what else? Was that it? Hey, Tesla. Tesla is also another modder in the community. Cool. Yeah, so looks like things are working. Let me just commit that change real quick. Fixing editor, what I change? Get light map at. Cool. Oh yeah, I guess I have not said anything about achievements. That is something that I think we're probably likely to do. I think that's mostly on Chad's end, though. I need to ping him about that to make sure that we can at least build a list and get some basic achievements in there. So the final release will be hopefully the end of the month, and it's just us polishing off the last little rough bits that we wanted to take care of. Cool. Pop that down there, and then fire up the editor. Let's just edit. Maybe I'll try to see if I can get it so I can peek at the chat every now and then. Cool. All right, file open. Generator done. Nope. Yeah, dungeon. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna kind of Uh, Guy says, why is there only a 1080p quality setting? What do you mean? On my stream? If that's the case, it's because I'm a pardon me, a baby streamer and I have no idea what I'm doing. Or it might be on Twitch's end. I'm not sure. Dungeon. Let's just start at the beginnings. I think beginning 2 is the one that Chad did. Yeah. So I just need to touch this up because it looks like he's using a pilaster here, where he probably should be using a pillar. So I can fix that. For those of you who don't know, pilasters are the architectural feature of a pillar that is embedded into a wall. I don't know why I know this, mostly just because I Google for reference, and I learn weird things like that. So now you know. So let's see if I can just select this and delete it, and then right click. Oh, nope. Right click, place entity, dungeon sets. Should be towards the top somewhere. Pillar. There we go. And this is basically the same thing but two-sided. And then I'm just going to just kind of neatly position it over here. You had it kind of like halfway on this, yeah, like that. And then I think he was showing off the top part of it. Yeah, so let's just pull that down on the Z, kind of get it where we want it. Maybe I need to. The more cluttered up with models we get, the harder it becomes to start positioning stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry about the 1080p stuff. I really don't know how to control that. If somebody is a more like senior or veteran Twitch person that knows like, oh, this is just a little thing you check on my end, please let me know. Okay, let's try to sneak in and get a hold of this guy and delete him. And then we're going to just kind of, again, try to get a hold of this one. And I could hit X to go straight into the X-axis and hold down Alt to drag it out to make a copy of it. And holding Control, snap that pillar into place. And there we go. It's awfully tight there. Yeah, that's probably okay. Maybe? There's nothing really back there that's interesting. So maybe I'm okay with that being a little bit tight. And then this one you can easily slide by. Cool. File save. File open. I think this 1.bin actually is pretty spare still. For the most part, I just went through and just converted everything to using the new textures. Hey, Steven. How the heck are you, sir? What is this for? This is I'm redoing the dungeon. Whoa, what are you doing up there, little buddy? Why are you all the way in the world? Yeah. So instead of doing a complete new set of rooms for the dungeon refresh, I am just retexturing and adding the props that I made into the old dungeon areas. So hopefully it breathes a little bit of life into them that way. Sorry, was I that high pitched? Apologies. Dakota says, wondering, pop a level and rarity. You could add the dash unique to the end of it. So let's look at yeah, here. If we look at maybe, yeah. So if you notice, these are the dot bins are the room files, and if you add a dash unique to the end of a room, the generator will only ever place it once in a level. So that's how, if you want to have rare rooms, that's the way to do it. Cool. Praise the chair. I know. That actually reminds me. There's some folks who have dug really deep into like Dark Souls, and Dark Souls has quite more than you'd expect of random geo and props just floating off into space. And it kind of reminded me of that. Cool. So let me see. So Chad's been kind of decorating things up using these arches, which is kind of a cool way to do it. There we go. And Dakota was saying, what would they do without me? I'm going to still be working on projects. Like I do want to work on more games beyond Delver. That's the whole goal of my I guess my immediate career is trying to figure out how to be an independent creator, and eat and make a living. It's hard, but that's what I'm working towards. Cool. Yeah, I mean that works. What? Dakota, you should add a command for praise the chair. Since you're a subscriber and all, you can do that now. What about, like, this is just so short? Yeah, so Dakota, you can type in command, or if you type in commands, it'll list out the available commands. So I don't know, like as an affiliate, I'm only allowed to have one emote, and then I can create emotes for $10 subscribers and $25 subscribers. So I can get a total of 3, and you only get those if you subscribe at that level. So my current workaround is just having this command thing. So let me do a command remove RNG. And then you just do the opposite of that command, add RNG, and then, so this is the name of the command, so RNG, and then bless RNG, or G, or whatevs. Now you can do RNG. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of little perks for people who do support me and subscribe to me. That's just a nice little perk you can do here in chat. It's just meant to be silly. Or if there's more specific things you folks would like to see from me, please let me know. What do I want to do with this? I'm like, place entity dungeon sets. What do I have in here? Door arch, a window, a wood post, bookshelf, bookcase, and a shelf. Pillar, bench. A bench sounds like a nice thing to have in here. Then maybe on the z-axis, pull it up. There we go. Interesting. Does it not have a shadow? Is it too low on the Z? Oh, because I know Chad was saying that he was trying to get away from self-shadowing on entities, and maybe it's a little aggressive. I don't know. Dungeon sets. I think this is also this wood bench is not destructible. Maybe it ought to be. Nice. I don't think there's a chair emote. Entity, dungeon sets. Just add the bench, I guess. It's fine. Actually, let me add it as a breakable. That'd be easy enough, right? Entities, basic, breakable. And then mesh file needs to be from dungeon, and then I have a bench. Pretty sure it was what I named it. I tried it. Yeah, bench 0, first thing. And then it needs to be from textures / dungeon / meshes. Okay. And let's fix this collision box. Let me see. 0.5. And then the Z needs to be something lower, like 0.25. And then maybe even this needs to be smaller, 125. 0.2. Just ballpark it, get it close. There we go, and you can break it. Yeah, that feels right. It should probably cast a shadow, right? Let me see, where is that? There should be a property for that. Shadow type, box. No. Rectangle. Yeah, there we are. And then you can smash the bench, because that feels nice. And I'll just kind of tuck it up against the wall. And then maybe entity, dungeon sets, book stacks. And this is just a random stack of books. So whenever you play, it's a different random stack of books, and that's okay. Plate. Maybe pull these up a little higher. Yeah. Cool. That is fine. And let's just make the spawn chance like 0.8. So it's not always there. But usually, oh yeah, sometimes the book stacks have little candles on top of them. I thought that was a nice touch to add. Cool. So let me see. So people are asking about the engine. Yeah. So there are two of us working on this. I do a lot of the art, and Chad does primarily the programming. But again, we share there's lots of overlap in between our roles. But yeah, he wrote this. It's in Java. It uses the libgdx framework, which basically gives us an OpenGL context and some input handling. Yeah, and I mean, a lot like the editor is homeworld, the engine's homeworld. It's been awesome. It's been a great learning experience, but it's a hard way to do a game. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, there are two of us working on it, and then we also contract our audio through PowerUp Audio, and we have an excellent illustrator who's helped us out from time to time named Sam Garcia, and we've also used a excellent pixel artist who fixed my broken animations. His name is Hunter. He works on Duelist now. Those are the folks, and there's probably others too that I don't know about. We've had two composers, White Wolf and Nathan, and yeah, there are two of us who work on it like the majority of the time, but there are lots of folks who have chipped in and helped out. Nice, Dakota. I've given you the power. We got that little thing in there. Because this is just a pretty basic entry start. But I guess I could put a bookcase down here. Maybe would that look too weird? Let me try removing this marker and then adding in the dungeon sets. We'll just add in our good old buddy, the procedural bookcase. Let's flip it around. There we go, and then kind of just maybe tuck them here in the corner where most likely be found. Play. Yeah. I don't know why there'd be a bookcase there. Yeah, I don't know if I like that, actually. Let me just delete that. I have 2 subscribers now. Yeah, sometimes Mark Solly, like you just get a really, really amazing drop like off the bat. Like sometimes I've had it where I found unique items the first time. It should be a pretty small chance it happens, but I mean, you play enough games, it does happen. Wood post. Everything looks better with wood posts, right? I could slam it on this guy. Or I guess pillars don't really have gender, but this thing. There we go. Just pull it up. Perfect. That seems pretty contrived, though. Yeah. Yeah, Chad. Maybe Chad just seems to be way faster at decorating this stuff. Um, um, so right now my two subscribers are Kodrak and Fifth Elephant, and I love them. Their support means the world to me. I can say that. Okay, so not super feeling this, but let me save my progress and move on. File, save, file, open. Let's hop over to, say, corners, corner 1, load. Oh man, here we go. Here is a nice empty canvas. Let's just do, we're just gonna do little stuff. We're not gonna try to do big world changing stuff. Let me just hit G to grab the textures there. Let me do something like this, and I'm going to say pull this up, pull that up, maybe there, pull it back down, then maybe pull the ceiling up. Yeah, pull this up. I want to put some of these big wood beams in here. I think that'd be interesting. So place dungeon sets. Actually, I don't have those in there. So let me just right click, place entity, basic model. Actually, let me do it this way. Let me save, file, open. Let me just go to a decorated one already. So beginnings 2, load. I can just copy one of these. So Control C, then file, open, go back to our corner that we were working on, load. And then I can just paste it in here. And then I can fix up the, so it needs to be dungeon, wood beam horizontal. Okay. And there's when you fix up the collision on this. So 0.25 is correct in that dimension. 0.5 is correct there, and 0.5. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice big chunky beam. Let's rotate it 90 degrees, and then let's just kind of position it up here. There seems okay. It doesn't have to be super perfect. Says the guy who spends way too much time trying to get stuff perfect. And Y. Slam them over there. Oh. So you probably won't even, I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's all right. Actually, I think they're low enough that you actually do notice, which is good. Again, just a little bit of visual interest, nothing crazy. And then down here, this is just a long straight hallway. What can I do with that? Could just I could just add a little room, I suppose. Yeah, let's just add a little room right here. Yeah, it does feel weird. Like we've been working on this project for, geez, 5 years now. And you know, we do need to get this thing done. It's a long time to work on a project. You know, and this is one of the projects you can fall into this kind of place of like always just working on it. But like that was never really our intention. We wanted to like make a thing and make it good, and then be done with it. Because you know we do have other things in our lives that we enjoy doing. Like I do have a family I like to spend time with, and also there are like I'd like to play games sometime. I'd like to play video games eventually again someday. I just haven't had a lot of time to do that. I don't know, in the past year or so. I goofed up the positioning of that. Yeah, now Z fighting, so let's just pull that away. There we go. Nice, and that should be aligned correctly. There we go. Then same thing here, let me just kind of, holding down Control and Shift, you can, Shift will keep it locked to the XY plane, and then Control just snaps it to the grid, so that's how you can position stuff. There we go, I think that's right. Yeah, that seems all right. Cool, and now we have a little room here. Let's do something with it. Seems like we oughta. Yeah, Zeke, you know me, Zeke. Yeah, no, I really appreciate your folks' support. Like, I really appreciate the fact that so many people really enjoy the game and play it, which we never expected in the first place. So that, you know, that really is awesome. But you know that we do want to like end it eventually and have it live in a good place. Okay, let's do something like this, and then I'm gonna pop this up, maybe, or down, up or down, up a little bit. And let's put in a couple torches so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Nice. I think it's, let me pull the ceiling down a little bit. Like, I guess the thing I had to realize is like the kind of the look and feel of Delver is kind of claustrophobic here in these dungeon areas. Like the ceiling is pretty low, and actually I like that. It took me making rooms that were not like that to realize that I do like that. But luckily this pillar is plenty tall, so we can just kind of smash it into the ceiling here. Yeah, that looks all right. Then maybe have a friend on the other side. There we go. Oh, you're not in the right spot. Cool. I could, what if I pull this up just a little bit? Like this. That? Is that okay? Is that weird? Let me add a way to get up there. Maybe that'll feel better if I do that. Also, too, I think it's weird because like I'm creating a tangent, like these textures just matching up too perfectly. So maybe I'll pull this down on the Z to maybe do something like that. Something. Where do I like it? That's fine, I guess. It's not that big a deal. I can just let it go. Yeah, what if I just dropped in a architecture mesh stair and then flip that, and then so let's pull this one down and then slide this. Oh, everything needs to come down just a little bit, which is okay by me. Let's put it down there and pull this down here. Take care, Dakota. Have a good rest of your day. It might look cool to raise the roof of the hallway and add place arches and intervals. Yeah, that could be cool too. That is a good suggestion. I think I lowered this just a touch too low. If I put it back to where it was, just have a small step up would probably be okay. Yeah. Where do you need to live? Here. And maybe just fix the Z fighting just by offsetting it a bit. Oh, no, I pulled you too far that direction. Let's go back this way. Again, slide it over. Nice. Yeah, that you can get up here for whatever reason you'd want to get up here. Maybe I'll put some junk up here. People seem to. Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll put a loot marker back here, or a decor pile, and then I'll just kind of give this the same treatment on this side as well. I think this needs to be something like that, and then lower that. Because basically, the stairs are just a cheap trick where we throw a model on top of a slope, and the stairs have no collision geometry, and we just allow the slope floor to handle that for us. But it's worked so far. It's worked well so far, so not too worried about it. Yeah, then I can add a little nook on the other side. And place a marker, decor pile. And actually, Chad did something cool where he was using these to kind of create like fake sewer grates. So let's try that, see what that looks like. Gonna have this like that, and then just kind of offset it in the Z to where it looks correct. Okay, well that's I need to pull it out of the wall because right now it's Z fighting something nasty. Just a little bit, just a few pixels out is all it really needs to be. There we go. So you could, but the problem is sometimes we put notes back there and now you can't get the note. You can. You can. That's probably fine. Let's do the same thing over on the other side. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, not snapping this to grid because I want it just a little offset. Cool. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, if you've ever built levels for for me particularly the id Tech engines, a lot of times, like for Quake 3 especially, you build like a nice stair and then you throw a clip brush on top of it to still make it a ramp anyways, which, I mean, it just feels better. Tesla says, ooh, maybe with water flowing out of it. I could certainly do that for maybe another room. The water does not, things do not float in the water. Things sink in the water. So that wouldn't work quite how you think. And then maybe I'll throw some wood rafters in here, like, yeah, I'll just grab these guys and just reuse them. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's probably okay. Just kind of try to eyeball it and find a good place for it to live between the pillar and the other, the wall there. I think that's roughly correct. Thermolampid, hey, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Yeah, just trying to get this game done, and we are closer than we have been ever. I guess. Well, I mean, we're always closer because we're always working on it. But hopefully, by the end of this month, the last big update will be out. Iron bars inside the arc. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. I think we have those, pretty sure. Let me just quickly preview this. That looks all right. File save. This is corner one. File open. Let's go to, I think Chad was working on a thing called prison test. Levels. Prison test. Load. Then he had these iron bars just kind of all over the place, but I can snag them and use them. Control C. File open. Just go back to our generator, dungeon corners, one, load. I can just paste this in here. Somewhere. There we go. Position it in here. Maybe I could actually pull this up higher too so you can actually see what's going on, maybe. Like that. Oh, I got it stuck in the wall again. Let me, I forgot about that. Pull that out just a bit. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to get a hold of this thing. Let's make a copy. Can I, please? How many copies did I make? Okay, I just need one. Then bring it over to this side. There we go. Cool. Good suggestion and easy to do. Yeah, actually, another thing, kind of like what I think Tesla was suggesting, is maybe just here, just pull this down just a little bit, just to suggest like there is a reason that it's recessed. I think that still works, but that was somehow I messed up the this. Hey, Chad. You broke the editor, but I fixed it. No big deal. In the editor, it looks like you changed the signature on one of the light map methods, and I just changed it to what I thought seemed reasonable. You could look at my commit. Hopefully that seems like a good fix. If not, feel free to you can let me know what I did wrong, and I'll fix it on stream, or you can just fix it off stream. Either way. Yeah, Steven. Yeah, I think Chad made those iron bars actually. Yeah, I'm warming up to them. I was worried about them being too fine a detail, but just letting it go. They're good. Because if I remember correctly, the light map used to be just a 2D thing, which would be weird in tall areas, if I recall correctly. And here we go. Yeah, this area is starting to look a little more fancy. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, like it's nice just to actually detail these areas now that we have props and all that good stuff. Yeah, this is just one of the corners. Nothing crazy. So, I mean, this part is still kind of, it's still kind of like corridory here. Actually, let me see. Like, I like the low ceilings, but it's also nice to have contrasts where you come out into areas where there aren't low ceilings. Yeah. So let me just save this, and we'll move on? Question mark. Yeah, like I've been kind of doing this it in places, and I think it's kind of cool. Let me do something like this. Then pull that up. Then maybe here, what I want to do is have this continue on. Pull that down. Pull this down. Oh, where'd my cursor go? Let me see. Exxon Ramage says still clipping on the inside bottom. Clipping where? Oh yeah, there's still some Z fighting here. And you can't really get around that unless you pull the mesh all the way off the, well, this one, the way that it's intersecting, you can't help that. But let me, I will do my best to, I guess I can just kind of just like, just position it just very, very gingerly, like you can, you still get the Z fighting there. What I can do is I can, on the X, like push it back to the distance I want it, which I think is there. No, it's too far in. I need to push it right about here. And then on the X, I can just, or the Y, I can offset it just a little bit that way too, so you don't get Z fighting. So on one side, the mesh sticks through, the other side, it doesn't, and that's just gonna have to be okay. And then over here, similarly, I can just do the same kind of fix. Yeah, no. We got them, so we might as well use them. You know, like we have assets, just use them. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah. The easiest way to fix Z fighting issues is just to make sure they don't happen in the first place. There's somebody posted a. I think the guy who created ShaderForge posted a GIF or about that, or GIF about that, where like he had some Z fighting in his scene, so he just hit it with a barrel. Sometimes it's easier just to avoid it that way. I mean, Chad can try to find a programmatic fix for it, but yeah. So yeah, so what I want to do here is first let's pull this up here. And let's change the lower wall to just be a normal wall texture. And then these are all going to agree with the height of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then raise the ceiling up equal amount or thereabouts. Raise these up. And then grab all of our little breakables. And then pull them up so they kind of nicely live in on the floor there. If they're not perfectly on the floor, that's okay. They have physics, so they will settle. And then here, now we can drop down into here. So, oh, what is that all about? Why did that? Okay. That might be a Dungeon Painter issue. Let me switch this over to Dungeon. And let me grab this texture. Oh, lower wall. There we go. Ah, so maybe the issue we're seeing in the sewers is a texture painter with the wrong atlas. So the goal of the dungeon refresh is to spruce up all the items or all the textures and adding new props, all that good stuff. That was not the way to do it. Testicles is another idea for the hallway is extended by 1 unit, so it looks like a T-junction, and then add another entrance at the end, so it looks like it keeps going away. You can't go that way. So one of the things I'm fixing, quote unquote fixing, is several areas here in the dungeon. They had spots that made it look like, in my mind, I was trying to make the dungeon look bigger by creating inaccessible areas that looked like they were like hallways leading off to places that you couldn't get to. And that really frustrated people. So I've removed that. So basically anywhere in Delver you can see, you can go there. Yeah, maybe if I pull this up just a little bit too, it's not as noticeable. So like a little step up here. I'm just trying to add a little bit of connectivity. One-way connectivity is fine, you know. Just so you can get out of the room if you get stuck in it. Just kind of repeat these as necessary. Yeah. So as Chad pointed out, the original rooms for Delver were actually bitmaps that just had you know, the RGB code, the RGB values were coded to different things. That room could be subdivided into 2 floor heights. Oh, that's not a bad suggestion either. I think what Chad is suggesting is something like this. Again, and it's also adding more contrast to this room, which is good. So like up like this, and then I can pull this up high like that, and then again like this. And I think the ceiling here is now taller, so I can make this agree. There we go. Yeah, and then maybe get rid of these rafters because we don't need them. And then I can add a ladder right here. Entity basic ladder. Then I can slam this right there, flip it around. So yeah, I see what you mean, Tesla. So like, yeah, that's probably doable. The only thing you have to be careful about that is if you create areas like that, you have to either mark them with teleport blockers because people could potentially teleport back behind it. Yeah, like creating a teleport scroll was a cool idea at the time, but man, is it a pain in the neck trying to like build levels while planning for with kind of like with the open possibility that people could teleport into anywhere. Where is our table? Dungeon sets? No. Where's our table? Or no, I could put a bookcase here. That's fine. Or where does the generator? Table set. Yeah. Chad created these cool table sets, so I might as well use one here. So if that makes sense, or does it take up too much room? It takes up too much room. It's like a formal dining set. I just want just something simple. So let's place a dungeon set shelf. Just a basic shelf. Like this is just kind of this is a storage roomy feeling place anyways. Yeah, so let me just yeah, definitely. But you know, I think it was a good decision to start off with a very basic room format because you know like everybody has a bitmap editor, so that was an easy thing to you know that was you know an easy format for people to tweak stuff with. Replace entity clutter tinkered. Let's just intersect you. See. Right there-ish. Maybe further inside. There we go. And entity, clutter, gold candlestick. That's a new thing Chad made. It's kind of big though. I don't know if it fits there quite nicely, but I can just slide it over here. And then give this a chance to spawn. Where is it at? Scale, blah, 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 blah. Chance to spawn, say 0.5, and then make you have a chance to spawn 0.75. Just place the holy chair. Yeah, what is it? Praise to the chair? Or praise the chair? Thanks, Steven. Yeah. As you very well know, like releasing a thing is exciting and terrifying and exhausting. Goodness. Um, Cup. Yeah. Yeah, how's life on your end? I've kind of been silent. I haven't really bugged you guys very much. I know you guys are still hard at work, but how's life, Steven? How like are you actually taking time for Steven? I worry about you. Why can't I grab that? Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, that was not right. And then again, spawn chance of 0.9. And then you're not going to be here very often, so how about 0.35? And similarly here, I'll just, won't worry about you. Play. There we go. I think they're all they're just a little bit too high. Like you can see through the fact that they're floating. So I just need to pull them all down just a little bit. There we go. Nice. And then maybe just put a place entity architecture mesh. Actually, I think I just added a basic model. I think or breakables chair. No, furniture chair. There we go. And then I think we have entity furniture stool. Yeah, sometimes we use these stools also as like little bits of. Let me flip those around. Yeah. Of course, Steven. Glad to hear you're doing okay. Entity or prefab, dungeon sets, book stacks. You live there, but you don't always live there. Sometimes you don't. Place entity clutter candle. Candle 3? Candle 1, 2? What's candle 3, Chad? Oh, that's the tall candle. Does it actually spit out light? No, it doesn't. So I want the candle that has light. Kilu says, "Put the book stacks on the table, not the floor. Fail finish." So I'm gonna put a candle on the table. I think that makes sense in my mind. Let's see what that looks like. So candle. There we go. So I think the candles have a light, which is nice. In fact, if the candle has a light, I can probably get rid of this. And you'll still see the light from down here, so hopefully that will draw your eye. Not a lot of light. That's okay. Yeah, the throwing items are really sweet. So as Chad's alluding to, so everything is throwable. So if you hold down Q, you'll charge up, and you can throw, and you actually do attack roll with melee. Ooh, or you get unique drops, and then you can do unique throws. Yeah, earlier in the stream, Chad, I had a poison mace that I was throwing at enemies to. Uh-oh, and this is a one-way room. Here's a fun fact. The Doom engine also has this this particular quirk where you can step up into areas that you cannot step back down into, which is interesting. I think I'm going to fix this because I think you should be able to go in and out. But that made me smile. I can just easily just nudge this thing up. Like, nope, not like that. I want to nudge the whole thing. There we go. Yeah. So the clutter, I think, does clutter actually do damage now, Chad? I can't remember if it does or if it doesn't. So let's go up here and grab a tankard, and let's put the tankard up here. Now, I think the tinkered. So that yeah, so junk does junk you can throw with left click also. Let me see. Oh, a mage. Oh, well, it didn't do enough damage. Whatever that was worth. Yeah, so the charge up everything is new in this upcoming update. So you can hold down Q to charge, and you can throw everything. It used to not work that way, but we're trying to unify stuff. Oh, now that there are a candle potentially there, I don't want two candles. So let me just delete this guy. Actually, let me just make him have a very low spawn chance, so like 12.5%. So maybe you get two candles there, but not always. And apparently the generator put a crate there because the generator has a funny sense of humor. It shouldn't. It should be checking for collisions, so I'm not sure why it did that. Cool. Yeah, that's a nice little detail to add to the rooms. Actually, I wonder. Let's try this for fun. That should be roughly at the same level. I'm thinking here, just for a little bit of connectivity. And if you're fast enough, you can bridge a one thing gap, and that should get you up in the rafters. Ah, there we go. Yeah, can you get? Oh, you can't get there though. No, now I'm stuck. Okay. And now throwing potions is much easier. That was a stun potion, so that's also helpful. Now I attack that potion, which was not intentional. And then I can go up here. And I think if you have a high enough speed, you could more easily bridge this kind of stuff. I don't know if I care about you being able to bridge that. Oh, you can! Lovely. But yeah, that's a fun little thing to throw in there, I suppose. Yeah. So the outline effect too, it's new. It's on like magic items have it, and enemies with status effects also have it now too. Cool. I think I've added plenty of detail to this this corner. I don't want to add too much, but I think I've added more than certainly was there. Let's file. Let's copy these wooden beams. I like these wooden beams. Let's go file, open. I did a corner. Let's look at ends. Let's decorate up an end, I suppose. They need to be pretty too. Oh, I've already done this one a little bit. Again, try not to go too crazy with the detail, but just crazy enough. Yeah, this has like weird vaulted ceilings in these guys, and yeah. So let's move to put a potion up there. Yeah. Can I let me go back to this whole corners one load. I think I can place a loot marker, place entity. I think I place a loot marker that's just free floating, right? Or maybe don't, because I know you can place monsters this way, or no? Place entity basic. Also, you can place markers this way. Maybe I'm crazy. Place entity basic decoration. No. Maybe I'm just crazy. An item spawner. Oh yeah. That would be an easy way to do it. So Where do those things live? Spawners, item spawner. Does it spawn like random items, or does it spawn fixed items? Yeah, it's easy enough. It's dropping a lot of magic stuff, I guess. Yeah, so let's just. I want to maybe as a semi-secret. You guys know it, but I'm gonna slide it all the way over here, so it's up on this rafter. So you can either run to it, or you can, if you know about it, you can blast it down. Is the collision on these messed up? There we go. I guess the shadow does kind of give it away. That's all right. I'll make it a little bit more central too, so you don't have to do anything too crazy. Yeah, rope arrows are cool, but I'm fairly confident they are a lot of work to implement and make them feel good. There we go. Okay. File, save, file, open. Ins 2? Yeah, I'm just looking for, yeah, so actually I kind of decorated this one up a little bit. We can go maybe a touch more fancy with it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could add a fancy entrance here. That would be an easy thing to do. So just pull this guy up. And then I can just continue this weird little ceiling feature I have going on. Pull that up, and then dungeon sets, door, and rotate this into place, and slam it into the floor, and back it up. But not that far, it's too far. It's, yeah, still not too far. It's still not far enough. There we go. Also, too, in this area, like the floor is pretty darn flat. Like it would be nice to have some variation, again, just to provide contrast. So maybe since these side areas already have lowered ceilings, maybe it makes sense to lower the floor here as well. Maybe that makes sense. So we just grab a big chunk here and just pull it down a little bit, like that. It doesn't have to be a lot of verticality. Just, I think a little change helps. And then maybe I can have these floor areas just slope down gently. It's like that. See how that feels. There we go. Oh, so there's slopes and slopes right here, and that seems a little strange. Maybe I'll undo this last one. Oh, you could step up anyways. Maybe I don't need slopes. Maybe the step is a fine thing to have. Or maybe push the step back one. Maybe it makes more sense here. This would be a good arena type area. Yeah, this is. I think I don't know. Like having arenas is cool. I mean, I worry about always having the end areas be arenas. It's kind of a trope that a lot of things fall into. Just making sure that as long as the areas are wide enough, you can kind of finagle your way around. Is okay by me. There we go. And then, yeah, I guess a similar treatment on the other side is probably all right. So grab all this and pull it down. And then these areas here can go down too. The back area, pool of water. Like, maybe, I don't know, I personally don't really like water very much because it slows down the player so much. So I want to be careful about how we use that. Um, but maybe, maybe. Um, do, 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 do. Let's do the floor. Let's make the floor water and just see what that feels like. Like right here. Not a lot, just a little. Don't want to go crazy with it. And I need to lower it just a little bit because you see otherwise the vert displacement goes above the floor. So we have to pull this down just a little bit. Thank you, Loggercito. Yes, it is written in Java and uses the libgdx framework. Yeah, water slows down quite substantially. Oh, kind of like I thought I could step up on the other side. Weird. I guess I can just cheat and just do something like that. Just to make sure you can get out. And actually, let me just check all these. Did I put these down lower than the other side? I did. Weird. Okay, let's just quickly touch that up then. Just pull this up like that. Seems weird. Let me just do this number. So I like how we get that nice edge along the water. I think that's cool. Let's just pull this up a little bit. There we go. We can still get out. I also like to imply that the water goes somewhere. So it's easy enough to do. Just lower the floor here, and then just lower the ceiling at this end tile. And if you make it short enough, the player can't actually get in there. You won't teleport in there. Wow. He could still get in there. Yeah, that's a pain. Let's do it the other way then. Let's do something like. So let's say from this end, it's a waterfall. Which I guess it kind of works. Maybe it shouldn't be flush. I don't know. Let's just do that and pull this whole thing up like this and then pull this down. Then you can get trapped back. That's all right. If you get trapped back there, that's your own problem. And then similarly here, we'll just do something like that as well. Like I can't. Yeah, like I can only do so much to prevent people from getting into bad situations. Ah! Yeah. Maybe one more. I think this used to work, where I can drag this over here. There we go. Get the same depth. Yeah. Again, I'm really wary about creating areas that players could teleport into and then not get out of. And we've had in the sewers, there are areas where we have sections like this with the grates, and people somehow manage to like clip their way back behind them, and they're stuck forever, and they're really mad at us. So I'm just going to try to avoid the situation by just not creating those areas. Even though I just did it on the corners one, let me go back through that and make sure it's too low that people can't teleport in there. So let me file, save, file, open, corners one, load, and then these areas, nope, not that, yeah, it was this one. So here, what I need to do is grab this and just really pull that ceiling down, and then pull this this back part down as well. So it doesn't really, it just needs to like imply this stuff back there. You don't really need to be able to see back there. And that should be small enough that people can't teleport into it. Yeah, thank you for, the conversation reminded me that I need to be considerate of that. Yeah, we do have no teleport zones. That's also a thing I could do too. Place entity area spawn blocker or teleporter area. No, that's the opposite. So entities, areas, spawn blocker, and the spawn blocker should be the thing that prevents people from spawning in. Relatively confident. I'll just slam one right there. Cool. File save. So I think Steven's asking, how do we handle the pathing data? I mean, Cuttigan could better answer that, or Chad could better answer that. But as far as I know, we do an A star based on the player location, and then they all just use that data. File open. Halls. I'm just trying to right now. I'm just starting and going through and trying to just hitting one of each, just so I can get a little bit of love to everything. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Why are you so mad? So yeah, this is a straight up open hallway. So maybe I want to maybe break up the visibility a little bit. I can't recall. But I think in the old days of the bitmap levels, you could change the water depth, but that was really problematic because it was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I'm thinking of the step up height. Okay. Yeah. Again, I don't want to make this too unique, because then if you see it all over the place, then it looks weird. Play. I mean, the least I can do is add little arches on the doors. That's a motif that we've been going with. That's a good place to get me started. There we go. Cool. What else can I do in here? This weird feature here that's just kind of thrown in. I'm not quite sure why. What if I did something like, there's rubble in here. There's a lot of rubble in here. I could do something like, you grab those textures and let me set the upper wall to actually be cave, and then the ceiling, same thing. And then I can do something like this. Then like maybe like this. And then yeah, maybe I'm just going to kind of play around with maybe looking like this is slowly like caving in. Let me pull this down a little bit. Then maybe cant the edges up here, this side, and this side. And do I still have that thing copied? Yeah, I do. It's handy. Well, I want to place the vertical version of this, so let me grab that. Should be wood beam vertical. Maybe wood beam horizontal, vertical 0. Okay. And then just fix up the collision on it. Will there be another mini boss? At this point in time, nope. Does not look like that will happen. So maybe I'll put this one here in the middle, and then we have some thinner ones I could also put as well. Okay. Yeah, I think it's dungeon, wood beam small, or yeah, vertical. There we go. Nope, I missed it. The wrong folder. Dungeon, wood beam small, vertical. Okay, there we go. And then just it has half the collision, so that's easy enough to calculate. Then maybe just kind of propping up just a spot here. There we go. Yeah, I maybe want to just give this ceiling just right now it's perfectly flat. I just want to add just a little bit of depth to it, probably on this side as well. Not a lot, just a little. Oh yeah, this is also, yeah, as Chad is pointing out, there's a place to put windows in here too. We could certainly do that. At least those beams right there allow a little bit of vis blocking, not a lot, but you have something where you can hide behind, so mages can't always easily one-shot you. Yeah. So I think that, like Chad was saying, this is probably a good opportunity to put some windows in here. Yeah, so maybe I'll open up one of these walls. Let me just get rid of these meshes here, and pull this up. Nice and tall. And then I could right click, place entity, or place prefab, I guess, dungeon set, or the entity doesn't matter. And then should be a window, there we go. And then I can just slam this against the wall and it will do window things. I think it's offset a little too much. There we go. And now I can just create several of them. So let's maybe just kind of snap them at regular intervals here. And if you notice, whenever I drag a copy, it's different. Is because there are nested prefabs, and they choose which one they are at runtime. Again, which is a nice little way to get variety. If you want to place specific windows, you can just drop the you can just place the model itself and not the actual prefab. But it's a nested prefab with two parts. One part is the outer window, and the other part is the inner window. So we get quite a few combinations out of that. Yeah, let me also, I think Chad had some cool God rays in here, so maybe I'll put some of those in real quick. So file save, file open. Corners 4, is that right? Maybe? No. File open, corners 1? No, I don't remember which one he... the name of the game engine? this is the Delver game, and I guess it's called the Delver engine. Yeah, so it's a custom engine written for this game. We certainly have. Chad has made a game called Boarding Party with it, which is definitely a departure from what this is, even though it is technically just a mod of this. Corners 5. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. Yeah, let me just do this real quick. Oh, there's a quick little blurb from my little helper bot. Nice. Yeah. So he has these and the light. But let me just copy this. Control C, then File, Open. I think I was doing Halls 1? Halls 2. Halls 1. Yes, I was doing that. So let me paste that in. Did I get it? Is it dropping in a weird spot? It is not. File, Open. Corners 5. Load. And oh yeah, I always forget about these hanging chains too. Yeah, I really should add those to the dungeon sets because they're a nice thing to have. Or these things are hard to see also, because they're like they have alpha on them. Control C, File, Open, up, Halls 2. No, Halls 1. Load. Yeah, there we go. Just I don't see it being copied in or pasted in. Weird. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's so hard to see. It's easier to see in the dark. But yeah, so these just need to intersect the window. It just implies that light is coming in at a certain angle. Can I even see it? Does it need light to work? Place entity lights ambient. I want this to be a cool moonlit night, maybe. A bluish purpley light. Oh, that is way too saturated. Let's pull this open and pull the sat down. Okay. That didn't seem to change anything. Sat. Oh, I had to click. There we go. Okay. Yeah, or it's one of those things where it fades as you get closer to it, so that's needed to be farther away, which is all right. So I'm just going to kind of position these in between the windows, and then I'm going to kind of just make sure this intersects the window at an interesting angle, and then just kind of drag a few of these out. And then they should be most visible when you're furthest away, which is all right. Yeah, that's cool. Then as you get close, they fade away. And then conversely from the other side, you can see the light coming in. I think they're too low. Let me just pull them up on the Z-axis a little bit. Let's try that. So many enemies. Yeah, that's nice. Again, I don't want to use these too much. Again, because yeah, it's super subtle. Like I think it looks nice, but it's not like crazy over the top. Thank you. Yeah, that's all Chad. The little god rays were a good idea. Yeah, it's nice. And then I'll maybe add another door arch thing here. There we go. And then I can make a, since I already have that, some of the cave stuff established there, or maybe it just makes sense to have something like this. Guess I need to pull it further out so it fills the door jamb. Also, let's get rid of this marker because this poor enemy is never going to be able to move if we do that. So right click, remove marker, and let's just put them right next to it, which is fine. Oh, is it not? Oh, is it only there? I think it might be there. No, spawn chance 1, because I always want that one to be there. I think the rest of them have a lower spawn chance. But you can see. Let me see Z. Yeah. I think that works. Yeah, there we go. And this one, what is the spawn chance of this one? Yeah, 4, or is it 40%? That's okay. Yeah. Felix says an option in the editor to temporarily disable monster spawners. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, Chad. Like the windows plus the lighting could be a nice way to just kind of like add a little bit more theme to the area. 'Cause I mean, this is I guess is potentially the highest dungeon level, so you might still get some light filtering in. That would, I guess, make sense. Cool. So yeah, I can certainly add that feature to more areas, so it's not so rare. Yeah. So file, save, file, open, hall 2. There we go. Yeah, there are 20 hall rooms, so that's a lot of work. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I think I touched it up just a little bit by lowering the ceiling here, so it felt like a separate space. But we use this room quite a bit, so maybe I can give it some love and make it feel a little bit more interesting. The thing you have to be like, I was telling Chad, you have to keep in mind when using God rays. So God rays, or those little silhouettes, are created by a light source interacting with like dust particles. So what you have to keep in mind is that implies like the light source, in our case the moon, is at a particular spot in space. So all the God rays are going to have the same angle with respect to all windows. So if you have God rays on both sides of the hall coming in, that's incorrect, or unless your world has multiple moons. But you can find there are many cases of games that make that mistake. Or maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe it's a style thing. But it's just one of those things that once it was pointed out to me, I can't unsee it. Yeah, you can create a monster spawner and you can put it on a trigger and you can put that trigger on a loop. If that makes sense. Like let me just do it real quick. So file, new. Okay. And you should be able to block something out like this. And this, and you could right click and put a spawner, monster spawner. Let's also place some lights in here too so we can see what we're doing. Lights, ambient. I'm just gonna crank it up really big because I just want to, yeah, again, I don't want to like, generally you don't want to do this. Generally it's better to have smaller lights. Otherwise you kind of blow out the lighting in the area like I'm doing here. Maybe less orangey. Yeah. Yeah. So then we have this monster. We can give it an ID called M spawner. And then here we can, like, this trick I use all over the place. You can add a mover, basic, and you can have this thing starts immediately, loops, and then on its trigger, triggers at, I think when done, mspawner. Is that right? Triggers ID when done. Or maybe triggers at start, mspawner. There's one of these things that you can hook up. Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's home. I know that squeal anywhere. Blah, 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 blah. What am I doing wrong? Move time, interpolation mode, start time in time. MSPAWNR. Yeah, that should do it, really. I don't know if this, do I have to set up anything on this end? Wait for trigger, true? Yeah. So when you buy Delver, we actually ship the editor with it, if that makes sense. So wherever the Delver binary lives, there's the editor binary living right next to it. So triggers when done. It starts immediately. Yeah, because I certainly use that for maybe, I think, because like I use it for stuff like entity temple sets, where those live, temple sets, and a one of these crusher traps. Yeah, actually, this one actually doesn't use that, and that's why it breaks sometimes. Sometimes if an item gets stuck underneath this, these won't move anymore, and I need to fix that before the end of the month, before we release the final version. Temple sets, crusher trap. No. Temple sets, crusher trap 3, 2. No, one of these has it. I swear. Unless I'm crazy. Anyways. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then. I bet you I could do this. Well, maybe not. Spawner. Entity spawner. There we go. So I could. I'm thinking I could probably have an entity spawner spawn a monster spawner. Does that make sense? Is that a thing I could do? Spawners. Monster. Spawner. Maybe not. That one has to destroy it. Maybe that's why I goofed. Spawners. Monster spawner. Yeah, they don't have that option exposed. Yeah, no, it's not a big deal. Actually, yeah, since somebody was asking about it, let's see if we can fix it up real quick. is active equals false. And then I think the entity spawner has a property destroy after spawn, which I will just copy over, I guess. I think that's a good thing to have. And then I assume it just checks it. Yeah. Cool. There we go. Then let me just relaunch the editor and check that out. Cool. Then let's add in a entity spawner, monster spawner. And I'm just going to give it the ID of MS for monster spawner. I'm going to add in a entity mover, basic. It's marker torch. This is going to be a starts immediately, loops, and it targets MS. Then this thing needs to say destroy after spawn is false. But I probably should say I should probably have that default to true, so we preserve. It's still not getting triggered multiple times. Curious. What I can do is also entity mover basic, and this one only gets triggered. So triggers on trigger. Its ID is MS. And this thing should only get triggered by this thing, just to make sure that that's actually doing what I think it is, and make this move time 0.5. Stops. Yeah, so this thing is being driven by this one, if that makes sense. So destroy after spawn. Wait for trigger, true? There we go. Oh my goodness. Ah! Yeah. Yeah. Success. Good thing that I have the lightning wand, which can really help. Oh, I guess the problem is they get stuck on each other. So once I get a big stack of them, they can't actually get out. But yeah, that was a fun thing to add. Let me just commit that because that was a good thing to add. Also, before I get too carried away, let's also put in that is true because that maintains legacy behavior. Git add, and then I want to add this file. Status, that should be, yep, it's staged, so git commit -m monster spawners can be used more than once. Cool. Here you go, buddy. It's in. Yeah, we are really pushing hard to get this this last update out the end of the month. I think you could have it like so. Tesla is asking, could you have could you make an enemy? An enemy can drop. You can enemies have a hard-coded drop. So if you look at monster. Inventory items, they should have a thing that you can tack onto them to make them always drop stuff. I forget what I called it. I know Missile uses it. Because basically when it, let me see, encroach. Trying to think, because we shove when arrows hit an enemy, we shove it into their inventory basically. Entity hit list add E. Move. I am blanking for some odd reason. But not to use that entity monster.java, or is it? Cool. Yeah. No, please do share that on the workshop once you get that going. You can, yeah, that's interesting. I'm pretty sure monsters have it. Loot. Yeah, loot. Of course, it makes sense. Loot. Yeah. Add arrow loot to monster. So in the entities.dat under monsters, you can add a loot property, which is just a list of things. So you could have a monster drop another monster when it dies. That's a totally a thing you could do. Like you could have a slime drop 2 slimes when it dies. So it's a never-ending, terrible thing. Yeah, definitely a horde map would be cool. Okay, so if you folks have heard, my son is home and I want to go hang out with him before he goes to sleep. And I've been streaming a couple hours now, which is pretty good. I try to get at least a couple in every Sunday. We've actually been pretty productive today, so I'm pretty happy about that. I got to show off the new features. I talked about us releasing the final version of the game, which will be out at the end of this month, which will include lots of quality of life fixes, a revamped dungeon area, and lots of other things that I can't remember off the top of my head. So Chad and I are very excited to have this this baby done. I guess we were planning also on raising the price to $9.99 once we release. So I think like for the first few days after release, we'll probably keep it at $7.99, marked down from $9.99. I believe that is the current plan. Let me think. Let me look at my cheat sheet because I'm always forgetting stuff. So yeah. So I'm Joshua. I've been working on Delver. You can find out more about Delver at delvergame.com. I stream Delver development every Sunday, so you can follow me here on Twitch and get notifications about that. I also tweet about it, so if you follow me on Twitter at Joshua Skelly, you can get information about that as well. I also do a weekdays. I do a lunch hour stream during the weekday, which is turning into a multiplayer roguelike that you can play on Twitch, which is a crazy thing. So if you want to see more programming from me, you can follow me, or you can watch me there. Blah, my brain is burned out. I'm an affiliate, so you can subscribe to me. I have 2 subscribers now, which is awesome. They are Dakota and Gavin, Codrake and Fifth Elephant, respectively. That directly helps support my streaming and development efforts. It also gets them the ability to create custom commands in the chat there. So they've created a few commands, which is cool. Also, the last Friday of the month, they get to tell me what to do. They can tell me what projects to work on, and I will do an 8-hour stream this coming Friday. So if you want to tell me what to do or see me work on specific things, you can subscribe, and I'll do that. And it could be anything really. Gavin wants me to work on like a Blender basics, so I'll show folks kind of the basics of that. I know Gavin is a big member in the Quake community, so I'll probably do something along those lines. But yeah, so if you want to see me work on something, you still have time to subscribe this month, and let me know what you want to see. I think that's it. I will be back tomorrow with Lunch Break Roguelike right here on this channel. If not, you can see me next Sunday for more Delver. Take care, everybody.